Is it morning yet? Yeah, it's morning. Dadgummit. It turned morning. Happy Valentine's Day. Are you in love? No darkness. I know. I don't know why. I don't know why it ever did it in the first place. Another day in paradise, right here in the bat cave of eBay. The Silverhairstacker bat cave. I really need to decorate this place, except you wouldn't be able to see it for all the piles of stuff. Yeah, happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, Tom, you big lover. Well, you're muted.
That's right. I forgot to turn it back off.
What?
I was recording some gameplay last night and I forgot to turn my mic back off.
Yeah. So, who all we got with us here this morning? We got the Swamp Picker Glenn all the way from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We got Jabus Spires all the way from wherever Jabus is. We got Beth, the reseller rowboat, all the way from the Houston, Texas area. We got Lag from the basement world of the underground satanic cult region. We got Hank Allen Cash from Florida. We got Ping G from California. We got Chris Tyler. Where are you from, Chris? I don't know. Yeah, we got Peddling Prophets from, don't know, Gatita Osol.
Yeah, I'm ready for you to do that one. Lag lives in Hogwallow, South Carolina.
Oh,
Not
okay.
Lag. Jameis. He lives in Hogwallow, South Carolina.
Hog Wallow, South Carolina. We
Yeah.
got Jennifer all the way from Jenniferville. We got Chastity all the way from Missouri. I don't know. I'm guessing now. We got Ron all the way from the suburbs of Austin, Texas. We got the Texas Bandit from the suburbs of Houston, Texas. We got Chris Tyler from England drinking with Andrew. We got Jake all the way from Jakeville.
I was watching this video last night about
Andrew.
people in the witness protection system, and I think that's what Lag is. I think Lag's he was a snitch for some of the gangsters, and he's in hiding. But Lag, we have the resources. We can ask Maggie Doodle to take care of any threats you got because she's a retired housekeeper for the CIA. Cute little Maggie. Uh,
I can't wait to hear about Elon Musk finding slush funds going to a basement somewhere
that's
out here.
right.
He's going to be in the U.S. aid list of people that's gotten $10 million over the last 5 years. Chastity in South Carolina. South Carolina's a pretty neat place. I haven't been there very much, but it was
The Carolinas are God's country.
lots of trees and green grass and yeah.
Beautiful beaches, the most beautiful mountains in the world. I mean, and hell, the people you just can't meet nicer people than those assholes in the Carolinas.
Except for when they vote for the wrong political party, yeah.
That's right.
Which happens every once in a while, or has happened.
Hey, Mr. Sadie. Oh, Gatita is in Georgia, Northwest Georgia. So you're like over in the Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina corner.
Yeah.
So,
Mr. Sadie, all the way from the hills of Missouri, from the flatlands of Missouri.
Mr. Sadie, did y'all get snow? I know you were looking forward to pushing snow on the parking lots.
Man, it's been cold here. Yesterday was cold. Today's starts kind of a warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it turns back off again.
It's
We're not quite done with winter.
What is it? It's 40. It's 40 degrees here.
Gatita, gatita. That sounds a little Spanish. Gatita. Okay. Gatita also. Also is. Isn't that Spanish for bear?
Let's see. It's
Nothing.
28 in sunny Memphis this morning. Expecting a few thunderstorms tomorrow, and then the temperatures will drop out again. Wintry
Also
mix
is
on
cat?
Wednesday.
It is Spanish, huh? Gatito. Gatita. What is oso though? Gatita. Oh, a gato is a cat.
Yeah.
So I guess a gatita is a little cat, a kitten. But what is oso? Yeah, oso equals bear. That's what I thought. I took Spanish class back in the day. Oso is a male bear.
Chris Columbus taught you Spanish, though. I'm going to get that in there before anybody else starts slinging it.
So, gatita, you're a kitten bear, huh? All right.
I like your puppy in the picture.
I like oro y plata better. Aha.
Um,
Plata oro.
Good morning, Kent. I posted a picture, a little video on Facebook of the biggest dog I have ever seen in my life. And my post was, I'm not really a dog person at my age because they require so much attention. But if Roberta brought one of those home, I wouldn't tell her no. He just looks so fluffy. He is huge.
Monday is President's Day.
Yeah.
All right.
The mail running.
Huh. Check it out. Somebody from TikToks wants me to start working for them. I get so many weird proposals.
Post office is closed on Monday. Well, what are they wanting you to do for them?
I don't know. I didn't read the whole thing.
In this collab?
Probably some pyramid scheme.
Well,
But so
you should have told her no, Gatita. You should have said no.
I have a trivia question. What post office in the United States has 10 times the mail output on December 10th than 10 times output on February 10th? do 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 boom boom. Time's up. Nobody guessed it.
Who is it?
Valentine, Texas.
Valentine, Texas.
Because when you send out your Valentine card, you would like to have a postage cancellation from the post office in Valentine, Texas.
So that's like when the boys were little. My parents went up to Alaska and they went over to North Pole, and they had Santa Claus send them letters, and they were postmarked North Pole. Which is cute.
Yeah, we were in Europe on a bus tour, and we stopped at Liechtenstein. So everybody had to run up to the little gift shop post office area and get their passport stamped with the country of Liechtenstein. So my passport has a Liechtenstein. I don't know why that's a big deal, but they thought it was on the trip.
Wow, Jake.
I bet that's right, Ron. If the post office is shut down, I'm sure the.
I don't. I just looked at that and it didn't say anything about banks. Uh, what is closed on President's Day?
Mm-hmm.
Government offices like DMV and most banks. Public libraries are closed. Public offices is closed. Post office is closed. Shipping companies like UPS, FedEx, and Amazon are still operating. The New York Stock Exchange and Nasdaq Ponzi scheme are closed. Uh, most retail stores are open. So check with your local bank to see, or the bank that you use to see if they're closed on Monday.
Hapco pole makers. You got to do something special for yourself. Get yourself one of those boxes of heart-shaped candy. I got a few bids in, Ron. Let me look here. One, two, three. Some of them are already outbid. Waiting bids, I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I didn't see a whole lot that I wanted.
I was just reading what the YouTube, the Google said. Jake, they said they were closed.
But Monday would be a good day for an auction pickup day because we don't have to spend time picking and packing orders.
James, are you talking about your like mother, wife, daughters? Are you talking about your girls? You gonna let them keep an extra 10% for Valentine's Day? Oh, you getting a free dinner, Anissa? Wow. Roberta needs to decide where she wants to get dinner from, and I'll go pick it up.
Do, 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 do.
Dang, James, you got granddaughters? Woo! You're old. Oh no, I take that back. You're from South Carolina. Hell, you could be 25 years old.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not gonna say that because I'm from South Carolina. Anybody else says that, and I'm gonna be backing him up.
You're making me hungry, Anissa. That sounds good. Yeah. So what's happening on the eBay front? Anybody sell anything? I have 8 orders for an amazing total of $151.
Dang, you sold some inexpensive stuff.
I know. After shipping, that works out to about what's going to be the net on that? Probably about $60. But it's out of here, and I don't have to think about it anymore.
Um,
It's crazy.
did you get some sweet loving from the ladies at the Lutheran yesterday?
I went over there, but man, they didn't have anything that I wanted to buy. They did have one alpaca rug with with like it was patchwork with llamas and alpacas on it, and kind of a scene of the mountains of Peru or whatever. But it wanted $75 for it. I did a quick eBay search, and that's about what they go for. So
Yeah.
it's pretty big. It looks like it could be like also a bedspread for maybe a queen size bed. Do, do.
But you didn't buy anything?
I didn't buy anything. Nothing. Zero, zilch, nada. One of the ladies there said, "Well, we just haven't had very good donations lately."
Was it that you didn't see anything that you liked, or was it just price too high that you couldn't justify buying it? Would you please lay down?
Yeah, it's either 99% of what they have is stuff that doesn't make any sense to try to sell.
Or you donated it?
And 1% is iffy. I mean, I almost bought a PlayStation 3, but a guy beat me to it.
So is it kind of hit or miss? They either have good stuff for you to buy, or the waste of time that day.
They just keep a whole bunch of stuff that nobody wants.
Yeah.
They get a lot of glass and porcelain and pottery and crap like that that's just, comes from Walmart or somewhere, and it's just, unless you're just going to buy it to use it, nobody's wanting that crap.
Hey, Craig.
They got all kind of unidentified like pot lids. If you could figure out what the pot lids go to, then that might be worth it. I don't know. They got a whole room of books that are just books.
There is somebody here in Charlotte that sells books big time on Amazon. They're always looking for listers.
They had a set of World Book encyclopedias, but I don't know. They had them for like $25, and they sell on eBay for maybe 80. I mean, if I was desperate for inventory, I might consider doing something like that. But they're big and heavy, and yeah.
Tita, don't feel like you're alone. Feel like you're one of the family. That's my singing. Todd, you have to um you'll have to
Sorry,
sing it.
Katita. Yeah, Tom and I have been doing this show for 5 years ish.
Yeah.
So our most of our regulars kind of, and Katita, whatever Lag says, don't trust him.
Not a word. Not a word. Because we don't know whether Lag is this 19-year-old teenage boy that he says he is, or whether he's a 43-year-old mother of three. So,
Yeah, this is a safe place until we start talking about politics, and then it's not so safe. You can trust Dr. Lag. Yeah, Tom's got to take us down the world of the 1980s or 70s and talk about something that happened to.
70s was a hip time, baby. That was
Delaware.
that was rocking. Roberta was rocking the Sesame Street, for me.
Right. Trigger warnings. Warning, we're about to go into politics.
Well, there's not the election's over, so there's really not a whole lot to talk about. Stop.
You get who and Jennifer confused? Oh, Lisa? Day 19 of keto. I might be googling how to make keto pancakes.
How are you doing with that, Javis?
I've been back on the treadmill and trying to watch what I eat. I'm down 6 pounds from the 1st of January, but that's just a drop in the bucket of what needs to happen. Okay, Ron, we got all the answers here.
Yeah.
Answer may be, I don't know, but we'll have an answer for you.
Hit us up. Wow, Paul.
Postponed the local elections because they don't know how the polls look.
Is it slanted right or left? And the reason they don't want to, since they can't postpone the elections. I would have a fire. If you don't have the heat on, I'd have a fire in the fireplace, Ron.
Morning, Hank. Hi, Mike. Mike.
Good morning, Mike. And good morning, everybody.
Yesterday evening, I got Jake to help me with my computer problems.
Did you? I was going to ask you if y'all got something worked out on that.
Yeah, I learned a whole lot more than I can remember. He put me on a deal called Team Viewer, and that's where he could run my computer.
Uh huh.
I said, "Be careful the programs you look through. You might find my porn sites that I go to.
Don't look at his photos.
You know, don't look at my search history."
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
But yeah, he was manipulating my computer, and I was just sitting there watching my own screen. Hey, I didn't click on that, but he did. That was interesting. I said, "Is this what hackers do to get you to get into your stuff? Is send you a request to download a link or something?" And Jake didn't find my spy software. So we downloaded Windows 10. If I completely wipe these computers I have, then I have Windows 10 on a,
Stick,
what do you call these?
thumb drive, flash drive.
Yeah.
I've always called them thumb drives.
So yeah, that was interesting. So he wants this firewall thing that I got in that computer point of sale stuff.
Right.
So I'm going to send it to him. If it's locked, then at least it went to a friend.
Right.
He can pay me whatever he wants to, because that auction lot I'm going to make pretty good money on without even having those two pieces. So have you ever sold a cash drawer? I got two cash drawers. Your standard point of sale cash drawers with the key in the front and everything.
No, I haven't.
They're big and heavy, so problem with big and heavy, sometimes the shipping cost is just up there, so it's eBay is going to make more profit than I would on them, probably.
Does anybody use a VPN?
I never have, but a lot of people have in the silver and gold stacking community, because they don't want their
Right.
they don't want to get a visit in the middle of the night from somebody who wants to see how much gold or silver they've got.
Well, welcome, Cheryl. You use 17 of them. Figured you did lag. I knew you would be on top of it.
17 what?
VPNs.
Oh.
I think that's a little overkill. But, to everyone their own. It worries me that we're associating with you, Lag, that you've got you're needing to have 17 VPNs. I'm assuming they're stacked.
If I really wanted to troll somebody on Facebook or something, I'd probably try to use a VPN.
No, Chastity, Lag is not a little extra. He's a little special. Okay. Which one do you have, Jabus? if you don't mind me asking?
Lag's a spy.
Well, when I said special, I meant special, not he's an exceptional person, and we're glad to be here.
What was that person's name? Connie Lingus?
Yeah.
No, that's not me.
Yeah, I can imagine your mom says you're a lot. Oh, okay.
It's not me. VPL skin tags.
Texas, you use Surfshark?
I'm not smart enough to use VPN anyway. I had to get Jake to help me with computer stuff. Yeah, I didn't know it until yesterday, or didn't remember it, that Jake used to be he would set up computer stuff for small businesses. So,
Like I said,
he knows way more about computers than I ever will.
um, Jake is running at least 5 consecutive jobs at one time. He's young and he's hitting it. He's gonna be the next Elon Musk.
You think?
Jake is industrious, and that's good. He can retire by the time he's 40.
Yeah, he's a slumlord. He's a computer wizard. He sells willow branches. He
He's an online reseller.
sells Starbucks mugs. He bachelor gentleman. Yeah.
Yeah, can't you imagine the prenup when he decides to get married? He's gonna have to. They're gonna have to sign. Bachelor gentleman. That seems to be Jake.
Now I figure Jake, when and if he does marry, it's going to be somebody at least as trustworthy as he is.
And somebody as industrious as he is.
Yeah, or somebody that's already richer than he is.
You know, I don't think he's going to be looking for arm candy.
Mm.
Um, where's Scott at?
Bearded picker, bearded picker, bearded picker.
He's
You're
been
gonna
laying.
liven up the show. We're just a couple old geezers.
Yeah. You'd be perfect for the Jakester. I know, and this, I keep joking about it, but I think I'm going to set up a marriage making like the Indians do.
Terra, terra, terra.
So if you've got an unmarried 20-something-year-old or 30-something-year-old, I'll start my database. I'll get Roberta. She's a data maven, so I'll get her to set me up a database, and we'll start matchmaking.
Yeah, so
You got to start getting your dowry ready, though.
a lot of folks don't like rich people, but Jake, I think if he got I mean, just really rich, I'd still like Jake. Some people get rich and they're just obnoxious snooty. But anyway,
Tactical, are you not married? Or you got a child that's in their 20s that you need to find a spouse for? And we don't discriminate. If you got a son that's looking for a boyfriend or a daughter that's looking for a girlfriend, we'll do our best.
yeah, I
But
thought Tactical was married.
he might have a child.
Sadie, Sadie likes me. You're still in my will, Sadie. You don't have to try too
That's
hard.
right.
Hey, Sadie, I got, what place did I get last night? I made the money. Let's see.
Is Mr. Sadie partaking of the card playing again? Would you leave my mic alone?
He slacked way off, man. I'm kind of disappointed in him. I finished 30th, which doesn't pay a lot, but there you go.
If you're married, we're not participating in that, Harbor's Hope.
Yeah, lag. Like I said, lag. You get all the death pile when I pass on. When I slough this mortal coil, lag gets the eBay death pile.
Hell, that might be better than the gold you've got stashed back.
I don't know. I got a lot of crap.
Yeah,
Um,
the commercials where this elderly black lady is opening up her garage door and she says, "One day this will be all yours,"
yep.
to her daughter, and her daughter just got his face, look on her face like, "Oh God."
Sadie says he's going to play this weekend.
What time do you have to be at work now, Mr. Sadie? Since you're a government employee, 10 o'clock.
I bet he keeps like the same hours as school teachers do, pretty much. Like,
No, he's not a teacher. He
like
probably
eight,
he
eight to
probably
five.
Yeah, 8 to 5. Teachers don't have 8 to 5. Teachers start off at about 7 in the morning and end up when they finally say, "I've had enough for the day." Which you know that because you were a teacher and you taught. You had to teach other classes besides band, right? Did you have to?
Yeah,
Did you have to
yeah.
do lesson plan for all that class, or did they give you a lesson plan?
Did they give me a lesson plan? No. They don't give lesson plans. Teachers are always have to.
Well, I know that, but I just didn't know whether since you weren't a real teacher, whether they.
It's like some of the teachers would spend like 20, 30 hours in the summer and make lesson plans for the whole year and then
Yeah.
just turn them in weekly.
Uh, I've got Roberta and I have a friend named Bruce. We've known him for 30 some years, and he's been using the same. He's been using the same plan. He teaches math and science, the same math and science classes, and so he just uses the same lesson plans. He just makes copies of it for the new year.
Puts new dates on it, yeah.
Which
Yeah,
I
and
could see that for something like that because it doesn't.
if you're teaching eighth grade math, it's not going to change from this year to the next, you
Yeah.
know.
Um,
But if you're teaching band, you know, you don't play the same music every year, and you don't.
no, when I was in band, our music library, because our band room was in the same wing of you had an open causeway, and there was the band room, the music room, the gym, the
Bum
boys'
crack.
locker room, the girls' locker room, and it's
I get the toothbrush on.
But anyway, our coach, head coach, used to say, "Louis, that was our band director. If this if this room ever catches on fire, the whole school's going to burn down before they can get the library turned out, put out, because we just had boxes and boxes and boxes of music, which you probably remember those days too. Only in those days, before Lag says anything, yes, those sheets of music was thick because they had to beat it out on granite.
Yeah, when you were in band, they still had sheet music made out of papyrus. Papyrus. Mm-hmm.
But right, my senior year of high school, um, our band director got tied up with some company where we basically, like for our spring concert, we only did a spring. We marched during football season and played in a pep band for basketball season, and then we had our spring concert. That was it. So for spring concert, he would order music, and it was basically just renting it because we'd send it all back once we got finished with it. Because he came up with some all kinds of wild music, wildest, and where did he find this stuff? That kind of stuff. Y'all are a bunch of perverts. I do not swing. I do not do pineapple cruises. That is beneath us.
Use the cold pulsating pineapple.
Mr. Bumcrack, now don't get on my case about that too. I like you. The other ones are starting to be questionable about how I like them.
Nice.
They don't, Javis. How come? That stinks.
Boom, 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 boom.
What kind of leftist BS stop that? You better, Mr. Bumcrack. What is the L? I know South Carolina High School.
Yeah, coaches probably got tired of trying to draw out plays when the band was just rocking over there.
League. Okay. Well, let me ask you this: so any of y'all still got high schoolers or recently out of high school? Do they still do junior achievement? Does anybody even know what that is?
I know what that is. They had
Oh, I
it
know
when
you
I
do.
was
I
there.
do. I know you do because that was the era that we were in.
We got a tour of my alma mater at our 50th reunion this past summer. Man,
Yeah,
they had all kinds of new and different programs. They had a culinary class. They had computer geek class. They have welding.
we had. It's called something else now, but beside our high school, we had the CDC, which is the Career Development Center, and they had all the auto mechanics and body work and barber and hairstylist, culinary classes, all of that was over there. And the other high school, actually, the other high school in Rock Hill High, because I went to Northwestern High School. Uh, York High School, which is not in our district, but they still use CDC, and Fort Mill did too. That's the way it did it back there in the dark ages.
I hated the days we had school achievement tests because they would all my classes would get canceled, and then I always had hallway bathroom duty. So I would sit there like all friggin' day long, and then most of the kids would get finished before the time limit. So after 6 hours of hallway duty, I had to spend 2 hours in the gym or outside on the playground monitoring him. That was my job during achievement test days.
Does anybody not know what junior achievement is? Just FYI. Yeah, Scott Todd was in the singing "Smoking in the Boys' Room."
I know.
No, I was never the hall monitor, and I was never the teacher's pet. And this junior achievement was to teach high schoolers about business. You basically, like, if there was 20 people that was wanting to participate, they would break it up into like 4 or 5 person teams, and you had to come up with a product, and then you had to, if it needed to be manufactured, you had to come up with a manufacturing plan, and then you had to come up with a marketing plan, and then you had to implement it.
Yeah, those.
I don't remember exactly what it was all about. I mean, what the product was. We made some kind of like handheld toy that did not require batteries, and it had like a loop, and then you had all these little metal rings and a piece of leather, and you had to take you had to manipulate the ring so you could get it and the leather off of this little metal loop thing. We sold a shit ton of those things.
Yeah, I remember when I was in high school, kids that were in it, they did all kinds of stuff. They made stencils and painted street numbers in front of people's houses. And
Yeah.
they got a whole bunch of plastic pellets and melted them into all kinds of things, paperweights and this, knickknacks.
Could you imagine now with today's technology what they're doing? Their JA is doing. I mean, because just about somebody in a group has got to have like a 3D printer or a laser, the laser etcher type things. But that wasn't a class. That was a after school activity. Yeah, James, you're right. The smoking area was between A building and C building, which A building was the administration building plus a majority of the classrooms, and C building was the cafeteria or science building. And there was a huge propane tank where all the smokers were. But what was more concerning than that, my junior and senior years of high school is when the polyester shirts being worn by boys with the garish colors, big flowers and all that kind of stuff. Is it Paisley's? All that. I'm surprised. Misflicked, one misflicked a cigarette butt, and could have lost half of the boy population of the high school, because everybody would have went up in flames. No, we didn't. I don't. No, I graduated in 1976 from high school lag. Who is? Yeah. It was I was just curious whether they still did that. I mean, when I lived in Charleston, Goose Creek, which is, Charleston, we had FFA. There was probably not a farm within 20 miles of us because I lived in suburbia. Yeah, I know they still do FFA. I follow a YouTube family, and their daughter she has a calf, and she's like 9, 10, and the calf is like, you know 5 times the size of her, and she just leads him around like a dadgum poodle. Her father said we'll end up having that cow for the rest of his life because he's her pet now. You graduated in 1966? Dang, Ping. You don't look at that to be that old. The Basement Association of America. Oh, I know. It's Jabus. I went on Google Earth and looked for our house that we lived in before we moved to Rock Hill, and it took me forever to find it because everything is so grown up out there. The wooded area, the swamp that we used to play in, build forts, uh, is now, it's got 10 houses per acre. Yeah, the Basement Dwellers Pancake Eating Association is what Anissa, like a member of Anissa. So, what do you got planned for the weekend, Todd?
Mm,
Are they doing any yard sales down there? You don't, or do you yard sale? I can't remember.
I love yard sales, but nobody advertises here on the apps. So I don't know why they don't get used. I just deleted the, there was yard sale treasure hunter or whatever it was,
Right.
and there was another one, and none of them had anything. So I try to find them on Facebook, and I find some every once in a while, but God, I used to use the heck out of yard sale treasure map. They would have all the community yard sales, but then they lost their connection with Craigslist.
Right.
I suppose you could still find yard sales on Craigslist. Does anybody still use Craigslist anymore?
The last time I used it because I have an email that I use just for Craigslist, and the last time I tried selling something on there, all I got was junk mail, junk mail, junk mail, junk mail. So I pretty much don't even look at it anymore. I'll go through the free stuff every once in a while, but Craigslist, not what Craigslist. Yeah, Craig needs to improve his list. You absolutely still use Craigslist, Harry? Do you find some good stuff as a buyer or as a seller? Like, don't be stupid. Don't play stupid. We know what you know what it is. If you've been involved in reselling any time, you know that. Yeah, Craig's a programmer. He should be able to knock that out in no time. You want to be on Craigslist? You're already on Craigslist.
Yeah, on Craigslist, there are 2 listings for garage sales for the weekend. Which, when it's 40 miles away, it's not much worth it.
I would not be surprised of what you can buy off of Craigslist, lag.
And one of the listings on Craigslist for garage sale is actually an estate sale. So
Wow.
it's not. I'll swing by estate sales more than I will garage sales nowadays because at least I can find out about them. Yeah, same here, Jabez. It's tough, unless you just hear word of mouth or happen to run across the community yards. I like the community yard sales.
Yeah.
I did real well at the Colleen. No, not Colleen. What was it? Anyway, another community sale.
Absolutely, Chastity. That's one of the things about it is they should put a purge on it that your listing will drop within, like yard sales, within a week it should drop off, maybe 2 weeks. Chastity, you're over. Are you on the west side? Let's see, east side of 77, or are you between 77 and 26? I can't remember where she's at. Yeah, it should be. Uh, Because unlike Texas, you can drive from one side of the of South Carolina to the other side in about 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours won't even get you to from the east side of Texas a third of the way.
So yeah, I don't do.
Okay, so you're over on that side.
I don't do near the yard sales I did 4 or 5 years ago. Mainly because I can get enough stuff at auctions. You've seen my auction hauls. I do. I get a lot of stuff at auctions. I bet I'm pushing 90% of what I sell comes from auctions.
They're expecting I-40 to be open back up by the end of March. the full traffic.
All those places that got washed out in the hurricanes.
Yeah, bad. The train system is really hurt by it because a lot of the trains coming through North Carolina is down in the valley, and that usually means it's running alongside of a creek,
Right.
and so it just washed it all out. Yeah, it's supposed to be. You can drive to that Winston Salem and go around that way quicker than you can go hit. Because don't you know that traffic is bad? One lane.
Yeah, Chastity, we gotta hurry and get you retired so you can hit up the auctions better.
Man, you got a long. Are you driving, Glenn? You got a long drive to Nashville.
If you make friends with the auctioneers, you might work out a deal where you can do your pickup like after hours a little bit, or something like that. If I showed up at 6 p.m., can I still get my auction winnings? You know, that type of deal. 2
Or
years
just
till retirement. You're going to hear a big thunder clap roll from Chastity's area when she finally retires, I bet.
good
You
morning,
like your job, though, don't you, Chastity?
Scott.
What's up, old guys from the Muppets? Those guys were funny. I enjoyed watching them.
Yeah.
Sit in the balcony of the theater and talk about how bad Fozzie Bear's jokes were and waka waka.
Absolutely, Paul. It's hard to believe we're almost through February. Life is like an album. It's real slow at the edge of it, but by the time you get to the center of the album, it's just moving. And for those that don't know what it is, that's those big black things that you put on a phonograph with the big horn on it. Plays music.
Well, folks, I better get my orders packed and get to listing, and yeah.
It's 38 degrees now. It just reset. All right, thanks, Todrick. Have a great weekend.
Lag says, wait.
What?
I was almost asleep.
Oh, shh. Lag, little X at the top of the screen on the right-hand corner.
Get her done.
All right, bye, guys. Bye, Todd. Thanks again.
We'll see you later. Hasta la vista, baby.